We are here in Nuremberg, Germany for Interzoo 2024, where all types of companies are showcasing brand new products that are game changers in the industry. Let's go check out the highlights. This is Interzoo, the largest animal convention in the world that happens in Germany every 2 years. Companies from the pet industry go all out for this convention to showcase new products, cool aquascapes, aquariums, and more. There was so much to see here, and I spent an entire day walking around and compiling the highlights into this one video. The previous video was my top 10 aquariums from Interzoo, and I'll probably show some more footage of those in this video, but also wanted to dive deeper into the event and showcase amazing aquascapes and some cool new products, which includes a canister filter that I think will really change the industry. Starting off here are just the massive amounts of booths and companies at this show. There was everything from plecos to saltwater reef tanks, yellow tangs, plenty of aquascaping material companies with driftwood and rocks. There were many impressive new products on display as well, including massive protein skimmers, media reactors, and RODI systems. And everywhere you looked, there were aquariums, both big and small, throughout the convention. The place is absolutely massive. We've been walking around for hours and we haven't seen even half of the places, so much more to come. Can't wait. And I really couldn't do a highlight video of Interzoo without showing more of the 6,000 liter African River Aquascape Aquarium. This tank was from New Wave Concepts and was incredible to see in person. The aquascape was next level in this tank with massive pieces of wood covered in plants which had been grown and maintained off-site for months leading up to the show. It was impressive to see such a well thought out scape in a tank of this size. The aquarium held a huge imbu puffer, which I had a lot of fun watching, probably spent a few hours in front of this tank. And then there were 450 Congo tetras and some Kerbenza cichlids, which are also African river species. The sump of the tank was behind it, and above the tank were 12 different kessels lighting this tank up. Definitely one of my favorite aquariums of all time. So just walking through the convention, there are a ton of aquariums just all over the place. It's so much I can't probably film it all, but you have awesome aquascapes that don't even have fish, but they look beautiful. To kind of give inspiration for what you can do with your aquascape, but also just the booths themselves, with all the equipment and all the different products that are innovative for all these different companies. It's just really cool to see. So this one doesn't have any fish, but it's probably one of the coolest aquascapes I've seen, with the logs sticking up out of the aquarium. Awesome light, and I'm not sure how they actually set this up to get that effect in the middle with the sand going up, but it makes a really cool dynamic coming down from the top of the tank. And it looks like it has an award for Best in Show, which I definitely would agree with because this looks incredible. And I kind of wish they had a few fish in here just so it would fill it out, but the aquascape itself is one of the best I've seen for sure. And you'll probably notice a theme in this video, which is just showcasing incredible aquascapes. Most of the tanks I showed in the last video were aquariums that were more focused on fish, but there were tons of tanks like these that didn't have fish in them at all, or maybe just had a few nano fish, but also had a ridiculous level of skill that went into these aquascapes. I wanted to show off these tanks since I found them inspiring, and they gave me a lot of ideas for improving my own tanks in the future. This tank has some of my favorite schooling fish, the rummy-nosed tetras. Absolutely perfect schooling fish for this tank. And then I really like neon tetras. Can't go wrong with the planet tank with different types of tetras, but the neon, actually those are cardinal tetras I think, but either way, you can't go wrong with this type of setup. And Dragonstone is one of the most common rocks you can find out there, and it's one of the cheaper rocks, so I like how they showcased what you can do with them in a really cool aquascape tank. I actually kind of want to do something like this for my Cuban cichlids, but they probably can't go with the live plants, so we will see. This is definitely one of my favorite saltwater tanks here. The coral looks absolutely beautiful. This is a big aquarium from Aqua Forest, and I've never seen so many Euphilia and different hammers all together and looking healthy. And it's just crazy to see these looking so well and grown in for a convention like this. It really goes to show how much work these teams of people put in behind the scenes. So we're in a section that's primarily dogs and cats, but we're seeing awesome aquariums all throughout this place. Let's go on to the next one. So right across from that awesome reef tank, we had the fluidized filters and a massive protein skimmer, I think. And then right here we have dog water bowls and fountains. We have actual cat and dog treats being manufactured right there. It's just a wild place. There's so much going on. I don't think we can film everything, but we're trying. So all these cat displays definitely make me miss Rambo. And like I showed in the last video, this is one of my favorite tanks, the huge koi. I need to get me one of those. One of my absolute favorites that I've seen here, just goes to show how big koi can get in proper care and conditions. And this tank is huge. It looks like it's a couple thousand gallons, and just a really cool idea if you want to have koi in your home rather than just in an outdoor pond like mine. But I would absolutely love to have something like this if I had the space. And you can actually see the koi through the panels, which I really love. Koi are great to see down into a pond, but something like this, a tank, is next level, I think. And would love to have a viewing panel like this on my outdoor pond. And we also have the goldfish tank behind me, which is a pretty cool dynamic, having those two tanks. And right behind that is the Sicce booth here. And a little bit further back is where the Sicce booth is, so let's check that out now. Then there is a lot going on here. I definitely wanted to show you a couple of the products that are really innovative and I think will change the industry a little bit, especially the big filter. So I am with the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Wilson from Sicce. You may have seen his YouTube, or you may have seen him on Sicce, but very excited, Jay, for you to walk us through the Mega Filtra.
Yeah, so the Mega Filtra is going to be Sicce's latest innovation when it comes to external filters. And with all of your aquariums, I think you're going to get to try it before pretty much anybody, so maybe even me. But I can walk you through some really neat stuff. So let's start at the intake. And it's not an outtake. This is like an aquarium thing. People say outtake. What is an outtake? That doesn't make... It's an output.
I think I may have said out.
No, I think I did. You could go back to mine. I said the same thing. So what's really neat is we tried to make it, now these are pre-production prototype models, but we've made it flat so if you have a canopy or a hood, it'll fit flush over there. But any size bracing, you've got even your rimless tanks, which makes it really cool.
And I like that for the custom aquariums too, that have the thick lids.
Yeah, so I actually broke my other ones on the whales to fit over there, where now we don't have to do that anymore, which is neat. You'll have some ability to increase the size of the pre-filter, and this will also be able to increase the size as well, so we can go into those deeper tanks. And then we have your controllable flow on the output. This is telescoping, so we can go lower inside the aquarium. And of course it has a color coordinated for your out and your in when we go to hook it up in the new quick disconnect, which is neat.
And I love the adjustable outflow there, but also, can you control it with the Wi-Fi as well?
So that's going to be a third model, which is neat. So we'll have a 650, a 900, and a 900 SDC. The 900 SDC will be fully controllable via controller or your phone. It'll tell you the temperature of the water. It'll tell you when it's time to replace any of your media, if there's maintenance required. I mean, it'll tell you when the power is out.
So that's really why I'm super excited about it, not only because it's the biggest filter so far from Sicce, but all of the controllability, which you don't get with most canisters.
No, not with most canisters, and you want it to not be clunky either. Like, I like this as a hobby. I don't want something to take me extra time to do something that shouldn't have to take extra time. But let's get a little closer and I'll show you a little bit more of the canister filter. The first big piece is it's no longer piano black. Anytime piano black would get a little scratch on it, it's been used. And that's even though it looks good, it doesn't hold up as well, even when it is brand new. So with the matte finish, now again, these are pre-prototype. These aren't in production yet, which is great, so we get to see change. The idea is Mega Filter coming to market. We want it to be the best rendition of a canister filter you could possibly get in terms of value warranty, efficiency, and capacity. I just made that up on the fly too.
That was pretty good. Do you do YouTube?
Well, yeah, I think so. So you're familiar with the quick disconnect you pull out. Not gonna lie, it works, but you have to really know where to put it to get it done. This one's gonna be a complete change. So the great part is you'll know exactly where to put it. You can't put it this way, it won't lock. You have to sit it in there. Once it sits in there, you're able to lock it. These will now rotate 360 degrees. The last whale canister did not do that. We have the push prime, which if you feel it, it's actually a good priming mechanism. It's not gonna fall out on you like you would think. Then we have our short pre-filter. This is gonna be for anything you'd like to add. We're not sure what the final piece is gonna look like, but it is a smaller unit, and I'll show you why it's smaller. Pre-filter stuff, polyfill, that kind of floss, all that jazz. And then very sturdy 4 clips. I mean, this is the big boy. So that's where your pre-filter is gonna go. We're gonna have the ability for some extra stuff that we could talk about later, but this is really, we're innovating when it comes to this. So then we have our regular canister itself. So on the top, where you don't have anything on the top of the whale, we're gonna have a basket on top. This is gonna be for you to add anything, maybe like a ChemiPure. It's gonna be your final stage where you wanna make sure that you're taking something out of the aquarium, or you wanna put something in the aquarium in terms of medication and things like that. And then we have 3 baskets. So the 3 baskets are going to have a ton of media. It'll come with all the media. And what's great is not trying to get zero bypass, because anybody that tells you zero bypass is very, very hard to achieve into a canister filter. But when the water is coming down, it's still going to go through, and then it's going to come from the bottom. So even if stuff is trying to bypass, it is going to have to go through some sort of media, which makes it great. And we'll have 3 sizes. You'll have the 650 liter. So for us in the US, you're looking at about 150 gallon aquarium. And then we have a 900, which is good up to a 200 plus gallon aquarium. And then the 900 SDC, which is the fully controllable one that we talked about a little bit. That one's gonna be for even more than just a plus 200 gallon aquarium, because it actually has more power. But what we're able to do with that power is we're able to plus and minus in terms of flow on a physical controller. We can use our app, which is very good. We can also check the temperature. I think we talked about that. And all of this at a 5-year warranty on a canister filter. So here's the deal. I like canister filters. We've known each other a long time. I've pretty much had majority of the mainstream canister filters throughout keeping aquariums. The great part is I got to help. I got to help with this. So the things that I used to be frustrated with were the same things that you and I would be frustrated with. For sure. It's not going to be perfect, but you're getting value in terms of the cost, which we're not 100% sure what the cost is, but it'll be more affordable than most.
Than competitors.
Yeah. And then when you're looking at like the SDC, there really isn't many controllable models out there, so it'll probably be, it's going to be a little bit more, but I think it'll still be in that range of what everybody thinks in terms of larger canister filters. But giving a 5-year warranty to somebody that's spending that kind of money, you're already invested in your aquarium. So a 5-year warranty doesn't mean, oh, we think our product's better than anybody else's. A 5-year warranty is because the family's 50 years put hard work behind all this, and they're like, we think that somebody paying money for our product should get something in return besides just the product, which I really did, and that's why I enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I love the Sicce whale, the previous canister model.
I have 8 of them, so I get it.
But it's like you took that and you improved every aspect of it and making it controllable. I'm very excited to get my hands on this. And when do you think this is going to be available?
So I was told, and nobody's watching me, so I'll probably get in trouble for this, but I said, why can't it come out faster? And they said, we want to make this as perfect as possible. Nothing can ever be perfect, but we want to fine tune this thing. So you're probably looking at just after Christmas of this year, because we also have like 8 other crazy products coming out. And we want to make sure that this one really has its full refinement before it hits the market. So you're probably looking at January-ish First quarter of 2025, make it easy.
And the name will be likely
Mega Filtra.
Okay.
So here's the tough thing when you're naming a global product. Anything you think would be good or you think would be good, I think would be good, doesn't always feel good when it gets out there. So Mega could be Megalodon, and we shrink it to Mega, but it also derives from a specific whale in Italian that starts with Mega. So really we're paying homage to the whale, showing a larger, more powerful, stronger Megalodon style thing. And I mean, either way, just get the Mega. I don't know why I'm still talking.
Absolutely.
Just when it comes out, just get it.
And I am very excited. I'll definitely be doing an unboxing review, all that.
Well, forget all that. You're probably going to get it to help test as we get closer to full production. So you probably should watch him more if you weren't already. Because these are going to come to the US, and then what we're going to do is have you test it, I'll test it, a couple other folks, and then we'll be able to get actual feedback from aquarists of what is happening. And some folks do this, and some folks don't do this. So I think it's beneficial to not only the brand, but also anybody who's selling the product or using the product as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited to showcase this. Can't wait for it to come out.
Mega Filtra!
Jay, thank you for walking through this.
Anytime,
really
man.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I'm
glad you're in Germany.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing some other fun stuff this week, I think. So watch out for that. I'm also probably going to take the camera around and showcase a few of the other products. Okay. Because you got some cool stuff happening here.
We do. We're really excited, man. 50 years old. I mean, I'm not 50 yet. It's exciting. It is.
Well, thanks again, Jay. And let's check out some other stuff.
Follow the whale.
This beautiful angelfish tank that we showed on the last video. And it is actually running on one of their prototypes for the Mega Filtra. So very cool. And I love this tank. But we're going to check out a few of the other Sicce products. Let's go around the back. Okay, around back they have this pretty interesting coffee table with a tank in it and a few of the pumps running, which is kind of cool. And then over here are some of the products you've probably seen before. The Syncra multifunctional pump, the Ultra Zero that I do water changes with. But one thing I definitely want to show is the Ultra 9000 pump. This thing is basically an improved Ultra Zero, which is what I use on my water changes. And there's actually a display that shows the water flowing very fast, and it's going to be awesome for water changes, especially if you have a really big tank like my 500 gallon that I just built. So I'll probably be using that and changing out water with that instead of the Ultra Zero. But there's also a cool upgrade to their Shark Pro, the little box filter. So if we go this way, their Shark Pro series, including the small Shark Pro. I think we nicknamed it the Baby Shark, although it's not its actual name. And then you have the Shark Pros with a skimmer on top. And these would be really good for your smaller tanks, and just a really cool, sleek design on these. And lastly, they have the Scuba contactless heaters. I did a full unboxing and review on this heater. It's a really innovative product. And just right next to some awesome aquariums, you have things like this, where they're literally just making pet foods and pet snacks right in front of you. It's really interesting stuff, even if you're not really into that and you're into aquariums like me, but still cool to see. But the overall convention is just massive. I'm blown away by how many companies, how many booths, all the aquariums, dogs, cats, birds, everything is here. It's really interesting to see all these different companies really showcasing all their products and putting their best foot forward. It's just been a really cool experience to see all the effort that goes into shows like this. That does it for Interzoo 2024. I hope you enjoyed seeing the show. Thanks again for watching. Next stop, Italy.